And we begin with the diplomatic talks between U.S. and Russian officials in Saudi Arabia. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is meeting right now with a Russian delegation led by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. The group is supposed to discuss options for ending Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but the talks have drawn criticism for not including any Ukrainian officials. This is a first face-to-face meeting between a U.S. Secretary of State and their Russian counterpart since January of 2022. Meanwhile, leaders from across Europe met in Paris yesterday to align their position on Ukraine after being excluded from the talks between the United States and Russia, hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The leaders of the UK, the EU, and Germany were in attendance, among others. Macron spoke with President Trump before the meeting. He then later spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky, who posted on social media saying Macron had briefed him on what was discussed. The meeting of Europe's leaders comes as concerns rise over today's talks in Saudi Arabia between Russian and U.S. officials. And Joe, I guess a lot of concern exactly about how these talks are going down.
Well, yeah, a lot of concern about how the talks are going down, and deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say, going back to the first Trump administration, when at some point Angela Merkel just told other European leaders, we're just not going to be able to depend on the United States anymore. And that's right now what EU leaders and Zelensky are starting to believe. Let's bring in NBC News chief international correspondent Keir Simmons. He's live from the Saudi Arabian capital. Keir, what can you tell us?
Well, Joe, we caught up with Minister Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, here at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel a few hours ago. He was tight-lipped. The delegations are staying here, but the meetings are happening in a Saudi Arabian palace near to here, convened by the Crown Prince and the Saudi Arabian foreign minister. There is a shot of the delegation sitting opposite each other at a table, looking fairly sober, as certainly they should do, because these are going to be very, very difficult talks. They are formal talks, albeit hastily organised. The day seemed to change that they would take place. The time seemed to change. The location has seemed to change, but they are now underway. That the pool team that are there for the talks say they've been happening now for around 2.5 hours with a 15-minute break, that the two sides plan to break for lunch. What they are talking about is an interesting question. One of them here, Kirill Dmitriev, who's not at that table, but he is here. US officials believe that he is close to President Putin's daughter. He is, if you like, I mean, President Trump has envoys. He is, if you like, one of President Putin's envoys. He is here very clearly talking about wanting sanctions to be lifted. He himself is sanctioned by the United States. And there, I think you have an example of what the Russians are really looking for. They are looking to try to end Russia's isolation, as well as President Trump saying that he wants to try to end the war in Ukraine. As you mentioned, President Zelensky is not here. He is in Turkey, saying last night that Ukraine will simply not agree to anything agreed at a meeting that Ukraine is not part of. There have been reports that he would come here to Saudi Arabia tomorrow. We don't know whether that is the case. Certainly there'll be no sign of the Europeans here. You mentioned that meeting in Paris yesterday. I mean, frankly, European leaders in disarray, unable to agree again, even whether they would be prepared to send troops into Ukraine to try to sustain any kind of ceasefire, if there is one. I should say the Trump administration being clear that this is a test, if you like, that they're going to see how serious the Russians are.
And I was going to ask you, Keir, about the if there's any method to what appears to our European allies to be madness, excluding the Ukrainians from these talks. Have you talked to any U.S. officials or Russian officials that have said this is step one? We're going to see if there's a broad outline on what we could negotiate and then have the Ukrainians brought in, or is all this being done on a very ad hoc basis?
I think it's fair to call it, Joe, a work in progress. Certainly, there are developments, aren't there? This is historic. It's extraordinary, honestly. I mean, let's keep in mind, these are the first formal talks between U.S. and Russian officials since Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine. I should say that, though, that President Trump's envoy on Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, gave a briefing last night in which he said that he will be in Ukraine this week for 3 days and that he intends to go back. And a bipartisan delegation from the Hill are in Europe right now trying to calm nerves in Kyiv and other European capitals, saying, of course, Ukraine will be at the table. The question, though, of course, is what exactly the US is negotiating right now with the Russians behind closed doors. You had the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, saying in that speech to NATO that the potential for Ukraine to be in NATO is not on the table, that even if there is some kind of a security force, it would have to be Europeans and non-Europeans, not the US, and it couldn't be covered under Article 5, which is, of course, that all sides defend each other article in the NATO agreement. So that seemed to be giving a lot of ground to the Russians. Just one other point again, though, a counterpoint to that. I mentioned that the Russians are here clearly arguing that sanctions should be lifted. The heavy sanctions on Russia are an enormous piece of leverage that the US has. Another point before I wrap up too, Joe, just to say, of course, these divisions between Europe and the States, well, the Europeans have sanctions on Russia too. So if you want to lift sanctions on Russia somewhere down the line, you need the Europeans to help.
All right, NBC's Keir Simmons in Saudi Arabia, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.